Welcome to Discover Your Path. I'm Ken, the Runewalker. I am host for Runewalking in Modern Times podcast, Blue Antler Whispered Secrets and Hidden Wisdom podcast, as well as co-host for Psychic Medium, the podcast. I've worked with clients for nearly 2 decades. Inevitably, I am asked to interpret a sign for them. I keep seeing a cardinal or a pine tree. What does it mean? Questions like this are exactly why I started the video series. The first class presentation will be your guidebook. As a psychic, yes, I can use my connection to figure out what the cardinal or the pine tree means. And you also can figure it out. If the sign is for you, it has a meaning for you and to you. Usually, this is a memory. So, there are many books on psychic symbols, a ton of them actually. Those are a great place to start. And you need your own, I believe. Even if you're not doing this to develop psychically or spiritually, even if this is for some personal development, a guidebook or a place to keep track of all of the information is very, very good. Now, one of the first things you need to know is, what is your purpose? The purpose, whatever that may be, can help you to figure out the structure of your book. It could be structured like a dictionary, if we go back to the thought or the idea that we're going to develop a psychic dictionary for signs and symbols. It might look like an encyclopedia if you want to record your experiences with nature, with water. It also might look like a recipe book if you're figuring out what works for you to relax, what works for you to become invigorated, what works for you when you're trying to get going in the morning. It can be a whole bunch of different things. So, for instance, I'm making a salad and need an ingredients list versus I'm making a list of all the things I can do with lettuce. Another example would be that I'm making a list of all of the things that calm me. Or I'm making a list of everything that lavender can do. Will you record your experiences in a journal or maybe an electronic document? Will you need a large artist's sketchbook or a pocket-sized journal? Do you want to be able to filter or sort the information by topic or similar? Will you want to cross-reference the material? You could write a whole paragraph on lavender and search a document, electronic document, for things that calm you, and lavender will pull up. Is this something you'll need to do? One of the things I like to do is create Post-it notes. That way I can move them around, especially if I'm trying to figure out exactly what my organization looks like for the class I'm teaching or the book I'm writing. So, Post-its work for me. Let's look at a couple things, and we can talk about my signs and symbols. This might be the cover of your book that is a dictionary of your signs and symbols. The next one, my time with plants, might be a notebook This season, I grew tomatoes. This is what I did. This is how I took care of them. This is what my outcome was. Here, we're going to be looking at how to relax. My guidebook. So, if I've had a stressful day at work, that's one situation. What are some things that relax me? And I can use a combination of things. I can use music, I can use touch, I can use scent, I can use food, a whole bunch of different things. In the picture here, it looks like we have a little bit of probably some pink Himalayan salt, as well as some flower petals. This is going to be more of your recipe book. How do I relax? This will also be a trial and error book because, you know, lavender doesn't work for me. But when I tried it, it didn't work, and I can make sure I note that in the book. So, we have our purpose. Now, how do we organize the book as far as what information we're going to be recording? Here, when we're looking at the list of things to put in a salad, we're looking at, do we want flavor? What about for color? What about for maybe the people that we're going to be feeding? So, I love food. I will always use a food example. Now, some things that you could be looking for, we're going to be looking at what kind of emotion did it provoke? What about color and image that I saw or used? Scents, flavors. Did the temperature change? Did my sleeping patterns change? Was I more energized? Was I more lethargic? Do you have physical things that happen? Pain, aches, intense feelings. So there are many things that you can be looking at to incorporate into your guidebook. Here we have two examples, one labeled ravens, obviously. Each of the little squares can be looked at as thoughts, emotion, scent, image. Anytime that you experience raven, here you go. We just fill in the little square. The next one, the color blue. What does the color blue mean? What does it smell like? Does it have a flavor? What emotion do I feel when I experience the blue? And what shade of blue? Here, back to calming, if I would like to engage with being calm, what are sounds, scents, textures, colors, tastes, and activities that bring calming? The next page is possibly looking at, I see it as having a whole bunch of scents lined up on a table. You're going to smell it. What was your reaction? And does it have a meaning to you or does it have a use? Lavender, again, would not be calming for me. However, the smell of fresh hay, wet hay, does wonders for me. So, to review, take the time to figure out exactly what your guidebook is going to be about. Why are you writing it? What are you doing? What information are you collecting? So, 1, purpose. 2, structure. 3, what kind of data are you going to be collecting? I find that this is the one thing most people don't do from the very get-go or don't do in the very beginning and should be, which is why this is the first video in this series. Thank you guys so much for watching, for tuning in. I hope you got something out of it. If you would like to contact me, you can do so by going to runewalker.com. These videos are free, so if you would like to help support the making of them, please go ahead and Venmo using this. Venmo QR code. Thank you again, and let's get your guidebook started so that we can explore more of the world together.